everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Denis Litvinov and today we're going to be comparing the new iPhone SE to the iPhone XR. Which one should you buy at such a small price difference? Stay tuned and find out. But before we get too far into the video, I want to thank all of you my subscribers who have subscribed to me so far. I'm glad you're enjoying my videos, and if you're not yet a subscriber, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and like this video for more videos to come. It really helps out the channel. So in this video, we're going to be talking about some of the differences and some of the similarities between the two phones. And at the end of the video, we're going to be deciding which one you should be buying at this time. So first of all, let's talk about the most obvious difference between the two, and that's the price. There is a slight price difference on these phones. The 64GB iPhone SE runs for $399 American or $599 Canadian, and a 128GB version runs for $449 American or $669 Canadian. The second difference that definitely stands out is the screen size. The iPhone SE has a 4.7-inch screen, while the phone XR has a much larger screen at 6.1 inches. So now that we've established that, let's talk about only the identical things between the two phones so we can get those out of the way first. Since we already started talking about the display, let's talk about the contrast ratio, which on both phones is 1400 to 1. Also, they both have True Tone display and they have 625 nits of brightness. Now let's touch on the cameras because I know that that's an important topic for a lot of people. Of course, they both have the single 12-megapixel rear camera, they have the optical image stabilization, digital zoom of up to 5 times, and a True Tone flash with slow sync. And they also both have portrait mode with advanced bokeh. Video recording is the next feature we're going to talk about. Both of these phones have 4K video recording capability of up to 60 frames per second. They have optical image stabilization for video. They also provide slow motion support for 1080p at 120 frames per second or 240. And of course, they both have time-lapse video with stabilization. Now, the front camera on both of these phones is able to take pictures at 7 megapixels. Both of these phones have the Retina flash and the portrait mode for the front camera as well. Both of these phones also have the same Wi-Fi networks, they have the same cellular network capabilities and audio calling features. Also, they both have Apple Pay, except for on the iPhone SE, you'll be able to Apple Pay with the Touch ID, and on the iPhone XR, you can use Face ID. Now that we've got those simple similarities out of the way between the two phones, let's talk about what really matters, and that is the difference. And let's decide whether or not the iPhone XR is worth spending the extra cash to get the extra features. One of the biggest differences between these two phones is the power and battery. The iPhone SE is small and compact, so it delivers as much battery power as the iPhone 8, while the iPhone XR is significantly larger in size and it delivers an additional 1.5 hours of battery power over the iPhone 8 Plus. Video playback in the iPhone SE can last up to 13 hours, while video playback in the iPhone XR lasts up to 16 hours. Now, of course, they both have wireless charging, but the audio playback in the iPhone SE is up to 40 hours, while in the iPhone XR, it's up to 65 hours. Now let's talk about the display in both phones. The iPhone SE only has a 4.7-inch screen diagonally, which is an LCD screen, while the iPhone XR also has an LCD screen, but this one is 6.1 inches. Also, the iPhone XR has a screen that's 1792 by 828 pixels at 326 pixels per square inch, while the iPhone SE only has a 1334 pixel by 700 pixel resolution at 328 pixels per square inch. Now, there are obvious size differences between the two phones, but let's talk about weight. Weight of the iPhone SE is 148 grams, while the weight of the XR is 194 grams. Now, why anybody still cares about the weight, I don't know. Does anybody actually come home, weigh their phone and say, oh, it's actually lighter than the Samsung, that makes it better? I don't think so. I don't think anybody does that, but that fact is out there for you. The next one will actually matter to a lot of iPhone users. Now, the iPhone SE actually does have the new A13 Bionic Chip, while the iPhone XR has an A12 Bionic chip. Now this one has the 3rd generation neutral engine, while the other one has a 2nd generation neutral engine. And this actually does make a lot of difference, especially for the camera. Now the camera, as we've mentioned, is almost the same on both of these. However, the iPhone SE, from various tests, will actually produce better picture, because the chip is able to process the picture substantially better. Therefore, you might get a much bigger difference in contrast and colors. And this is how the chip actually affects these two phones. It enables iPhone SE to deliver some extra technology that iPhone XR doesn't have. So for example, the iPhone XR has portrait mode lighting with 3 effects, which is neutral, studio, and contour, while the iPhone SE delivers portrait lighting with effects such as neutral, studio, contour, stage, stage mono, and a high key control. Now, this will make a difference to a lot of users out there who are using their phone a lot for picture taking. The difference in the front camera on both of these phones is that the iPhone SE has a FaceTime high definition camera, while the front camera on the iPhone XR is a true depth camera, which is the previous generation. Now, I can't touch on security while talking about both of these phones. The iPhone SE has a Touch ID sensor, which allows you to unlock it with your thumb, while the iPhone XR has a Face ID camera, which allows you to unlock it just by looking at it. Now, in my opinion, the Face ID is the way to go in 2020. It is much more secure. There is so little chance of somebody unlocking your phone, but for example, that could be a twin. However, there's such little chance of that I would consider this to be the superior to the Touch ID. Now, before we get to my verdict, I have to mention some more similarities between these two phones. They both have the 3-axis gyro, an accelerometer, a proximity sensor, an ambient light sensor, and a barometer. And of course, they're both charged with a lightning connector. And now, folks, it's time for my verdict. If you're replacing your iPhone, or any phone for that matter, in 2020, should you be buying the new iPhone SE, or should you be going with the iPhone XR? But before we get to that verdict, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, it really helps out a lot, and hit the drum roll. And the winner is the iPhone XR. Now let's put the SE away and talk about what really matters. Now the iPhone XR is such a bargain in 2020 at only $200 more than the iPhone SE. I mean, if you were to buy the iPhone 11, it'll cost you 1.5 times what the iPhone XR costs. With the iPhone XR, it is the closest thing to the iPhone 11 at this moment, not including the iPhone 10. Now, of course, you're going to get the large screen, you're going to get the improved battery, you're going to get Face ID, and there are a lot more features in this phone that supersede the iPhone SE. Now, don't think twice, go ahead and pick up your iPhone XR, and you will feel great about it.